Today we're going to be talking about 8th and 12th house synastry. If you don't know what synastry is when you put two charts together and you compare them to, and you compare the placements between the charts, and basically you will have some sort of synastry with the house and the energy of that connection with that person. Today we're going to talk about 12th and 8th house. So these are two of the deepest houses in astrology, and that's because the 12th house rules the subconscious mind and the 8th house rules sex and privacy and death and rebirth. So these are two separate energies. They're kind of similar, but they're deep because both of these houses talk about the most hidden parts of ourselves that we hide from the world. So that's what makes these connections so deep, because these are soul connections. And when you're in connections with somebody that you have 8th and 12th house synastry with, they're going to see a part of you that other people don't see. And you're going to see a part of them that the world doesn't see. That's what makes it so special. First, I'm going to talk about 12th house synastry, because I've experienced 12th house synastry and 2 8th house synastries. So I'm going to talk about the 12th house first, because I feel like the 12th house is like the deepest house. And I'm going to tell you how my experience was. So in the 12th house synastry, I was the house person. Okay. I was the 12th house person. This person's son was in my 12th house. This had to be the most traumatic experience of my life. And I'll still say this because the 12th house rules with delusions, right? Usually, 12th house synastry, this is going to be like extremely delusional. Like, have you ever seen those relationships or these connections with people where it's so delusional. Like, you're so delusional about somebody, like, for such a long time. Like, you're just so obsessed with this person, and like you don't even know why. And it's like this person could be like the worst person, but the way that you see this person, like, because the 12th house, it also deals with Pisces energy. Pisces energy is ruled by Neptune, the planet of delusions. That's the 12th house. So when you are so wrapped up with somebody, you're obsessed with this person. It deals with delusions and fantasies. The fantasies and the delusion that you're going to have over this person, it's going to be like a life or death thing. Like, you're going to feel like you met the most perfect fucking person in the fucking world. And in this synastry, while I had this synastry, I just felt so obsessed. And like, I literally felt like I was going to die. Like, it literally felt that way. Okay, like, it was literally, yes, it lasted years. Yes, it was traumatic for me. People with 12th house synastry, this is where you're going to find a lot of affairs, a lot of cheating, a lot of deception, because it's all ruled by illusions, right? My personal experience with this, yes, this did happen in my situation. A lot of confusion. And yes, the person that their son was in my 12th house, I believe this person was like a god to me, my soulmate, my twin flame. Like, it was that deep obsession. And yes, I was so obsessed with this person. It was like you literally felt like you just had no fucking like morals or values in your life, and you just wanted this person that bad. I did do crazy things over this, and it was just a crazy experience in my life. The obsession was deep. And yeah, so the 12th house synastry This is where somebody's gonna cheat on you. Yeah. So, in the situation that I was in, yes, like, he ghosted me, and I found out that he was in a whole relationship with another girl, So it's like 12th house synastry rules the deception and delusions, So it's like, yes, I found out that he was in a whole other relationship, and it was crazy, and it was like reality didn't make sense, right? Because it's just that's just how the delusions run deep in the 12th house synastry. You're like, wait, what? But like, you were just talking to me a few days ago. Now you're in a whole relationship with another girl, So it's like, that's how deep the delusions run in the 12th house synastry, It's like, you're not even going to know what's going on. So this is the house where a lot of affairs, a lot of cheating, a lot of deception happens, simply because it's all ruled by delusions. But here's the thing, after the 12th house synastry is over, you will be able to move on. Like, you will be able to move on, because the 12th house synastry will make its mark, but you will see the person for who they truly are. It's like, you're going to wake up from the dream. So you're not ever going to want to revisit that 12th house synastry. I definitely don't want to have no 12th house synastry with anybody like that ever again. That's like the worst, especially when you're the fucking house person. Oh my God. I don't want to have that ever in my fucking life. And that type of obsession, it's like a no-no. So having 12th house synastry, like, if you have had 12th house synastry, you know how it is. You know how crazy you act. You know how obsessive you are about that person, okay? It's just so deep that you can't even talk about it. Because that's just the 12th house. It just fucks up your whole mind. But just know, 12th house synastry is extremely deep. Now let's talk about 8th house synastry. 8th house synastry is a little bit more sexy. Is a little bit more favorable. Okay, I'm an 8th house stellium, so I feel like I enjoy 8th house synastry way more. And yes, I've experienced 8th house synastry with me being the house person and the sun person. I would describe 8th house synastry as taboo and sexy. There is something sexy when you have 8th house synastry. So my experience being the house person, and then I'm going to explain being the sun person. So what I felt being in an 8th house synastry, it's like, this is not like the 12th house. You're definitely going to know this person's secrets. You're going to know them. You're going to know their, dirty little secrets. You're going to know them at like deep core. Like, you're going to know like their dark secrets. This is not like the 12th house. I feel like the difference between the 12th house is that the 12th house, that person is going to keep secrets from you. And the 8th house, that person is going to tell you secrets. The 8th house is about sharing. The 12th house is about hidden. So like, I feel like the 12th house synastry, that person will hide secrets from you. But in the 8th house synastry, that person will share secrets with you. This is why I like 8th house synastry more. Because in the 8th house, you share more with that person, and you share more sexual secrets with that person. And you're going to know this person's dirty secrets, and you just know like this person's like dark, raw sexual self. And it's just something intimate as hell. And it's like, this is why I like 8th house synastry more. My experience being the house person in the 8th house synastry, you definitely feel like this person has power over you. You definitely, like, this person, like, in my experience, I was the 8th house person, and their son was in my 8th house. So I just felt like this person made me do things and say things that I've never done before, and they exposed like a dark, like, sexual part of me. And it's like, that part of me will like always stay with them, and I feel like they shared sexual things with me too. And like we just shared like a lot of like, sexual things together, like, and it's just like things that like I know about you that like I know damn well like you're not gonna share with anybody else. And that's the beautiful part about eighth house synastry. It's like I'm gonna see this deep, dark, sexual part of you that I know that you haven't shared with anybody. And yeah, like in these connections, it's like you just know a person's sexual secrets, their kinks, their desires, and they're gonna know yours. So it's like, I feel like with eighth house synastry, you feel a little bit vulnerable. But it's just like, it's so secretive. It's like, you know what? Like all of our sexual fantasies that we share together, like I know that, like, you know what I mean? Like I trust you and you trusted me, and like we like created this world together where it's gonna stay hidden from the world, and like whatever we shared together, and like that's the beautiful part about eighth house synastry that I love. It's like, you know what, like, yeah, we saw each other's naughty side and I'm okay with it, you know what I mean? So that's how I felt about being the house person. I feel like it's the same though. Being the planet person, being my sun and other planets in somebody's eighth house, it was the same thing. But I just felt like I just had a little bit, more power being the planet person now, because it's just when you're the planet person, I feel like you're receiving more energy from the house person. I feel like that's how it goes, like in any synastry. But the same thing with the eighth house synastry. When I was the planet person, it's like, yeah, we shared sexual things together, and like, but it's just like the eighth house synastry, it's like I know this naughty, raw, filthy, dark side of you, like you naughty person, you know what I mean? And it's like you do feel a sense of like vulnerability, but like a sense of secrecy and like, you know what I mean? But it's just like, it's like a beautiful hidden taboo thing that's going on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will forever know what you told me. Like, all those little dirty secrets that you told me, about you and like your kinks. And like, I will never forget that. You know what I mean? That's just how beautiful eighth house synastry is. So like, it's just, this is the difference between the eighth and the 12th house. The 12th house synastry, you're not going to know any secrets. They're not going to share anything like that with you. Instead, they're going to hide stuff from you. The eighth house synastry, you're going to know this person at such a deep level, it's uncomfortable. So it's like, you're going to know too much about this person. And then it's like, after the eighth house synastry, is done, it's like, you're going to feel kind of vulnerable. Ooh, like, I know these naughty things about you that I will never forget, you know what I mean? Like, I will never forget all the sexual secrets that you told me and everything that we shared, and like we created this weird sexual world together. Like, I'm never gonna forget that, and you're never gonna forget about all the little, naughty things that I told you. Eighth house synastry is sexy, and it's like, it makes me feel some type of way just thinking about it, But it's beautiful that you hold a dark part of somebody that the rest of the world doesn't know, and like they hold this naughty dark part of you too, you know what I mean? So it's really like, it's intimate as hell too. So I just feel like there's like two big differences between 8th and 12th house synastry, like very big differences. But yeah, I feel like with the 8th house though, like you'll be able to move on from that person in the situation better, simply because there is like nothing hidden. Like the 8th house, like we're gonna bring out each other's deepest traumas and like sexual secrets, and they're all gonna come to the surface because that's the 8th house. The 12th house though, you're rarely not like the situation with the 12th house synastry person, like it could be over, you still are like I still don't know shit about you because you hid shit from me. You cheated on me. You ghosted me. I don't know anything about you. Versus the 8th house synastry, even if this person and you don't work out, you're still gonna leave with that piece of them, like that deep sexual dark part of, them. And it's like beautiful. So it's like, even if, it doesn't work out, it's like I still left with that dark, raw sexual side of you. Versus the 12th house, I don't know shit about you. I still don't know shit. It's like, that's the difference. The 8th house, I like it better. I like 8th house synastry better because I get to bond with people in that deep, deep part of them that they don't show the world. Like, yeah, you might have this job or have this career or do this in life, and yet I know deep beneath the surface, I know you at a deeper level that even if you are with other people in the future, I will know that deep part of you forever. So I just feel like there's like a big, big difference between 8th and the 12th house. Anyways, I think this is all I can say about the 8th and the 12th house. These are the two deep houses in astrology that I would say you could call the 12th and the 8th house synastry soul connections. So, soul connections come into your life for a brief moment or to stay, and you just have to appreciate the moments. You know what I mean? So, this is all I have to say about 12th and 8th house synastry. Peace.